Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create a simple layout using some older products and combining them with some new products from Stampinup. So I've got the papers laid out here. The first one is Stampinup's Outdoor Adventures or Weekend Adventures, and then this other collection, it's an older one from Close to My Heart called Jack. So I'm going to use both of those collections. And the pictures I'm going to scrapbook. I'm continuing my Rocky Mountain National Park trip from 2017 with my husband. And we were on the western side, on the Grand Lake side of Rocky Mountain National Park. So I'm going to scrapbook these pictures and use a flip flap for these scenery pictures. We were continuing our day after our hike. We went to lunch and then we drove up Trail Ridge Road to the top. So these are photos from the way up and also at the top of Trail Ridge Road. So we did a little hike at the top. There's a visitor center, and we hiked up to the very top. We got some great pictures. So I'm going to scrapbook those, and like I said, I'm going to use some older products, but I'm going to mix them with some new things, things that are still available from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to start out with a base of black, and I'm going to cut this lumberjack plaid so that I can create a base with a frame of black around it. So I'm just going to trim this around, and I'm going to butt the sides up against each other in the center so that the frame goes all the way around, and it's about so it's like a 12 by 24 layout. So I'm going to take an inch off of one side and a half an inch off the other, and then we'll set it down. And then I changed my mind. So I decided to use this other plaid that's also part of the collection called Jack from Close to My Heart. And it's got this diagonal plaid and more of a red base. So it's not quite as busy. And then I'll bring back that lumberjack plaid in a smaller amount. Sometimes when you're using the large pattern piece, it just overwhelms the layout. So I'm going to trim this down and see what that looks like. We'll have, yeah, I like that a lot better. And then I've got a strip of this Weekend Adventures paper. And like I said, it's still available, and it's got a base of pecan pie with all of these icons in espresso from a compass and hiking boots and different outdoor activities. So we'll have a little pop on the right side and then on the left. So here's that lumberjack plaid. I've brought that back, and then I'm going to place over it a piece of this other white-based Jack pattern. And you'll see where I'm going with that in just a second. First, I'm going to dovetail both ends so that the lighter pattern paper lays over the lumberjack plaid. And then I'll do the same thing on the right side so that it looks like a continuous banner from left to right. Okay, so roughly that's how everything's going to be laid out. Now I decided that in order to get my pictures to pop a little bit more, I needed some mats. So I created mats in white and then another one in black. And you'll see the difference that it makes once I get all of these laid out. So I'm just going to work with the base photo. And then later on, when I put my photos in the page protector, I'll add a flip flap so that it'll be several pictures on top. So it'll be a series of photos. Flip flaps are awesome when you've got more pictures for your layout than space. So I'll put a link for them in the description below. They're carried at Stampin' Up as well. Okay, big difference. I love it. Okay, so in order to get the Weekend Adventures pattern paper to pop just a little bit more, I'm going to bring in some black ink, and I'm going to ink around the edges of those two patterns. So just a note, you're probably noticing some camera bounce. I was at a retreat when I filmed this, and it was the team retreat up in Rocky Mountain National Park, or near. It was in Allens Park technically, but it was near Rocky Mountain National Park. So it's on the east side. These pictures are from the west side. Okay, so these dies are alphabet a la mode from Stampin' Up, and I cut my title, and it's going to be Trail Ridge Road. And then off camera, I layered 3 layers so that they're more like chipboard. And somewhere along the line, I lost my T. So let's go ahead and get all these laid out. And then off camera, I found my T and glued everything to my layout. Okay, so these are Nested Essentials dies, and I cut some little banners for the left side out of some more of those pattern papers. And then I dug into leftovers from the Weekend Adventures Scrapbook workshop, and I pulled some of this, it's a wood grain paper in pecan pie, and then also there was this tab. I just thought it looked interesting over here, so we'll go ahead and add that. And then this is a really old Close to My Heart product. They are the Fundamentals stickers, and they came in packs of lots of different color collections, and this was the basics. And I just have this arrow here that I did a little bit of journaling here. My dog is going crazy and barking. I don't know if you can hear her, but I'm going to shut the camera and see what the heck is going on. Just a sec. Well, that turned out to be all about nothing. Okay, so I also pulled another sticker from that sticker sheet and just added my date. So we'll get that placed. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in, well, first I'm going to glue down that tab up here above my picture. Sorry if my head gets in the way there. So, okay, we'll just add that. And then these are stylish shapes, and I'm going to cut a circle from that same white patterned paper, and we'll just add it right there. Just create a little cluster. So these are also some little doodads from the Weekend Adventures scrapbooking kit. So I have some arrows. And this is another older embellishment from Close to My Heart. They're the black and white dots. They're acrylic dots. So I think I'll use the black ones, and we'll scatter a bunch of those around. Keep this clean and simple. And yeah, adding that black matte to the photos really makes them pop. So we'll go ahead and add a few more over here. We'll call it good. So I will add still shots of these photos over on my socials. If you'll give a follow on my Insta and Facebook accounts, you'll be able to catch those photos. And I'll make a list of the supplies that you can get that are currently available at Stampin' Up, and I'll put links in my description below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I'd sure appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.